Good morning. Alan Nuckman from Option Shop with your morning market stir for Monday, February 11th. Stocks finished on a positive note again last week. The S&P at 1512, up 7 points. New relative highs were pushed at 1515, and it did eke out a positive close for the week, up 0.3%. The Dow was at 13,926. 13,970 was some new relative highs before backing off on the close. The Nasdaq was the big mover, up 1% on the day at 2772, up 30 points. That's a 1% move on the day and breaking out of that sideways channel that we've been talking about for many weeks now. The euro currency continued to drift lower, down 41 at 133.66. The dollar index bounced a little bit to 80.31. Did have a session low of 80, which is the midpoint of the last couple months' action, but held above that. Bonds were down 3 ticks yesterday at 143 3/4. Crude oil was off as well, 95.72. It was pretty unchanged actually. Crude oil lost $2 on the week. It's been drifting in a sideways trade. Gold action was negative, down $4 at 16.67, and silver was up 4 cents at 31.44. So after new relative highs once again and a positive week in the emini S&P, where do things stand on this Monday morning to begin the trading week? Well, we're making some new highs right now at 15.5. The Dow futures are up 23, and the Nasdaq futures are up 5 ticks right now at 27.77. We talked about that channel that the Nasdaq had been in for more than a month between 2,700 and 2,760. Well, that targets a 60-point move from that breakout up to 2820. So we'll see where we can go from here. 2,700 to 2,760 was that channel. The dollar index is relatively unchanged right now. Again, it's been trading between 81 and 79 for 2 months. Bonds are pretty steady as well at 143.10, down a few ticks. The yield on the 30-year note, 30-year bond actually, is at 3.19, and the 10-year is right now below 2%. So that's interesting to see that it's drifted down below that. Crude oils continue lower right now, down 33 cents at 95.40. Crude's been trading between 95 and 98 since January 15, so it's been in a quiet range here, trying to decide where it's going to go next. Speaking of range bound, it looks like gold is broken to the downside and has not been able to hold the 1660 level. Right now we're down $10 at 1657. We want to look at gold on a weekly basis and see where we are at the 1660 technical pivot point from here. Silver's at 31.16, down 28 cents. So to wrap up the current action, 2 hours before the stock market opens, we're continuing to see positive action in the emini S&P. Emini S&P is at 1515, making new highs as we speak right now. With the other stock indexes positive as well, the Dow futures are up 23. I'll see you early Tuesday for the stir in the markets to set up your trading day. From Option Shop here at the CME Group in Chicago, it all comes back to commodities.